Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan McCann, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. New Year's is coming up, and as promised, I am going to do another Bubbles episode right now. And what we're doing here is budget bubbles, and the best place to get budget bubbles, in my opinion, is Spain. And it's in Cava, Penedès, where they use strange grapes like Paralotti, Macabeo and Xarello. Those are the grapes of Cava. They sometimes allow Chardonnay, and I believe they are allowing Pinot Noir. But Paralotti, Xarello, and Macabeo are the three main grapes of Penedès where they make Cava. And you talk about great value. These are all done method champagne. I believe so, yes, in the traditional method, which means that they leave them in the lees, they spin them, they do all that, and then they take they dosage, they disgorge and dosage, they do all of that. And all of these, all of these are under $15. 3 of them are only $10. Because we're going to get started right away on these, because you know what? You just celebrated Christmas, you spent probably a little bit of money doing that on the prime rib, on the gifts and all that. So maybe, just maybe, you want to save a little bit of money when you celebrate the New Year. Just give this a little rinse. The first one we're going to taste is Nit del Foc. Okay. Nit del Foc, $10. My wife and I are both bubble heads. We like them a lot. I'm hoping to do a little bit more, upscale one. I'd have to do it here pretty soon because you guys are going to be out buying bubbles. In fact, today at the store there were quite a few people already buying bubbles. So, I got to get that next episode out soon. So it almost sounds like a sawdust, like you walked into where a carpenter is cutting, with a table saw. Yeah, I get quite a bit of that, which is very interesting. I'm not really aromatic. I just can't get past that sawdust. Maybe just a little bit of a soapiness coming through. Let's like not that exotic soap that I was talking about in the last episode. This is like soap, like Dial soap or Ivory or one of those. Maybe just a touch of Filbert. Let's see what we get on the palate. Bigger bubbles, in the mouth. Usually, a lot of people that drink bubbles like the bubbles to be a little bit finer than this. This one just exploded in my mouth. But I do like the flavors. A little bit of citrus. I get a little bit of that nuttiness on the palate as well. And just a touch of pear. Tiny hit of almost coconut coming through. Good balance. Good acidity, not really sharp, but good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I mean, $10, guys. I'm going to say C+ on that one. Let's move on. So this is the Torria Cava. This we're also rolling at $10. Torria Cava Brut, sparkling fermented in the bottle, 100% Macabeo. Now that ups to them for mentioning the grape in this. This is a Cava Brut, $10. So first C+, $10, good flavors, a little big on the bubbles. Let's see what we get on the nose. Boy, this has a really perfumed. Very interesting. A little bit of coconut on this one as well. Pear. There's a little bit of that lees, that yeastiness coming through, just barely. Yeah, like the nose on this. Let's see what we get on the palate. Big bubbles on this one as well. This has like a really a little jazzier on the palate. I'm getting lime, lemon, nuts, a little bit of yeastiness to it. Yeah, I like that kind of yeasty thing that comes through that, like bread dough, a little bit of marzipan. I like the lemon and lime. Solid Cava, $10. I'm going to go C+ on that one as well. Hedging towards B-, not quite B-. I like it. I like the flavors. I like the lees on that one a little bit. I'm going to hedge towards C+, hedging towards B-. Let's move on. This is the Dibonda Cava Brut Reserve. This rolls in at $10 as well. This is, sorry, can't, the print on this is terrible. Fermented in the bottle as well, that's what I was looking for. $10, Dibonda Cava. This gets a lot of ups in a lot of the wine periodicals. And wine, the critics like this one a lot. They hang neckers on this, and Decanter magazine this, and I've actually liked Dibonda for a long time. And let's see what we get on those. This also has that kind of walking into a place where a carpenter has a table saw. And get an interesting nut component coming through on this as well. That kind of old sawdust thing is hanging in there, but not prominent. There's a real kind of pretty aromatic thing coming through that I can't quite put my finger on. Almost like you walked into a flower garden and there was some sort of a flower there that you weren't sure what it was that you were smelling. Yeah, a little bit of hazelnut on this as well. Let's see what we got on the palate. Okay, the bubbles are smaller on this one, which I like. You don't like to, well, some of you might not even care. You're having friends over, you just pop a, Cava. These are great for that. But if you're a little bit of an aficionado, you like your bubbles a little bit smaller, this is a good one. Nice kind of, that yeast bread dough nut thing comes through. A little bit of pear, almond. I'm getting a nice little orange thing coming through. Like orange sorbet, I guess is what I'm looking for. Yeah, definitely a kind of an orange sorbet with almonds and a little bit of yeast in there. This pretty solid brut. A brut Cava. They don't tell you what is in it. I did like that one that said 100% Macabeo, but remember the grapes. The main grapes are Perlata, Macabeo, and Xarello with an X. This mentions Barcelona. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Okay, there you go. For $10, I'm very excited about this. I like Dibonda a lot. We sell a ton of this at the store, and I understand why. I've recommended it to people. It's been a while since I tried it. Solid good flavors. Get a little that orange sorbet with a little bit of lime sneaking in as well, which makes it even more interesting. Good complexity. I'm going to go straight up B on that. For $10, that's a solid Cava. If you're looking for something good, see, like, the cool thing about Cava too is if you don't drink it all that night, you cap it off. Next morning, you want to put orange juice in it. It's okay. It's $10, right? But still good to drink by itself, and that's a real key. But what a solid Cava. I'm going to go BB+. I'm feeling generous tonight, and that is a solid Cava. Let's move on. A very familiar label to a lot of people. They've changed their label, which I really like. Fresno, Grand Selection, Cordon Negro. This is a Brut style Cava, and it is a little bit more. It rolls in at $14.50, at least at the store. You could probably get it for less. You can probably get $14 Fresno's been around for a long time. They're probably one of the first Cavas that really have brought Cava onto the map. Now, not all Cavas are cheap. You can get expensive Cava for sure, but most of them are very reasonable compared to champagne, where they do all of these fermentation in the bottle method, traditional method. I think this says on it. Yes, method traditional, which means they do it just like they do in champagne. Different grapes, of course. Let's see what we get on those. I haven't been showing you the color. They're all about the same. They're all about like this really kind of a light straw color. Again, I can't get over that sawdust thing. It's, you know, I don't know if you've ever walked into an old, like, well, you know, somebody that has been working in a shop for a long time, they move out, you come into the garage, you can smell that kind of sawdust thing. I get a little bit of that. This is aromatically challenged. Just a pinch of pear, maybe just a touch of almond. Let's see what we get on the palate. These are big bubbles as well, but I do like the flavor profile on this. Good solid almond, pear, a little bit of citrus underneath. Yeah, very nice little citrus, very clean on the finish, good balance. Pretty decent complexity of 1450. You know that you're stepping up a little bit, but not much. Yeah, solid wine. I'm gonna go C plus B minus on that one, but I'm telling you guys, if you can find this Dibonda, I know it's available in a lot of places. I mean, I'm going straight up B plus on that. I think it's a B plus. Very solid Cava. I'm digging the Fresno too. I mean, it's been around a long time. You guys are very familiar with that one. Yeah, like I said, these three, it foams up in the mouth just a bit. Like I said, most of you probably don't care that much about that. You're eating food, you're drinking bubbles, you know, that's great. You're having a good time, you're celebrating, hopefully, a much better year than 2020. What a crap show that was, right? Okay, we've got a lot to look forward to. I hope you have a great new year. And by the way, I will try and squeeze in another episode, maybe with a little bit higher end champagne, because I do feel, and what I've seen at the store right now, that a few people might spring for a little bit more just because they're sick and tired of what's been going on and they're looking forward to something better. And I think that's, you know, even though we all know that champagne, Cava, bubbles are not just for celebration, they certainly are great for it. And I found some, you know, 4 pretty good bubbles. Cava from Spain. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day. I really appreciate your support. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.